Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. If you are a regular visitor to these parts, perhaps you've already noticed, I am what I would describe as an enthusiastic amateur when it comes to the wonderful world of watch modification. I started off with a couple of Vostocks last year, got a bit braver this year, moved on to Seikos as hand swaps, swapping out Hardlex for Sapphire, etc. And I actually did a half decent job, I think anyway, on a Vostok last week. A bunch of dress diver modifications that turned out pretty nicely. However, all of these mods are done with my heart in my mouth, very much on a wing and a prayer, and I am at great pains to point out in the videos that they are not necessarily how-tos, just how I did it. I am no expert. Now, in the comments section of all of these mod vids, the comments pretty much split into two. Half of you say, great, I'm going to do that myself. The other half say there is no way I'm ever taking the back off any of my watches. There's just too much risk involved. If you fall into this latter camp, today's video might be for you. I've got a kit to show you from a brand new Hong Kong based micro brand called Mint Evolutive. They're currently live on Kickstarter. I'll leave a link in the description of the video below to their campaign. The kit that I'm going to look at, I believe, comes in at around $370 US. You get a basic dive style watch, 40mm in diameter, Seiko NH35 sapphire crystal rotating bezel. You also get in with the kit a whole bunch of mod parts, bezels, straps and so on. You can have almost endless fun tinkering with the base head unit, turning it into whatever watch you feel like wearing it on the day, and all of the mods are a cinch. Let's flip the camera and have a look at it. So modding made easy then. If you don't fancy the potential heart attacks from doing this yourself, then why not invest in one of these kits from Mint Evolutive. Now, they've been taking pre-orders on their own website for some time now actually for these kits and the various infinite permutations that you can pick up. I will leave a link in the description below to the Kickstarter campaign. You'll need to check that for the latest pricing. 3 models on their website. I've got the Defender with the California dial. There's also the Dive-Master and the slightly unusually named Intelligencer. On pre-orders, the kit that I've got retailed for just over $400, and you get a chunk of watch, you get a chunk of things to tinker with, including a large poster size instruction manual. We'll have a look at that in just a minute or two. There's the watch, nice little Mint Evolutive branded polishing cloth and warranty card, and underneath you get a whole tray of goodies. So what did I get in with this kit then? Well, heaps, I think, is the answer. I got the watch, I got another 2 bezels, so that's 3 bezels in total, a spare spring clip, some end links, little screws to hold in the end links, that'll become obvious later on, a whole bunch of these little picks for bezel removal, the necessary tools, and 3 different straps, a leather strap, a tropic strap, and a purlon. So 3 straps and 3 bezels gives you 9 different combinations, and there are heaps more of them available. There's a full solid bracelet, there's some leather straps, there's a whole bunch of different stuff. You can honestly go mad specking up your Mint Evolutive watch. But before we start tinkering around with all of those mod parts, let's have a look at the head of the watch. There is little point in putting lipstick on a pig after all. Now, I think this is pretty much what you would want if you were going to start a mod project. It's fairly neutral in terms of its dimensions and its looks. It's ripe for modification. 40mm in diameter. We've got a lug tip to lug tip of about 49, thickness of just under 14mm thick, 20mm lug width. We've got drilled lugs, as you see there, to help with all of these modifications. Now, it's basically a dive watch in spite of this slightly unusual military style honeycombed California dial. My first California dial, and I don't mind it. I didn't think they looked that great in pictures, but I'm quite getting used to this one. Dead flat sapphire crystal, plenty of AR coating, as you can see my studio lights glinting away, screw down crown, 200 meters of water resistance, and a see-through case back featuring, it's an NH35 with a nice signed Mint Evolutive rotor, so you can't really complain about the base specs. It's pretty much spot on before you start tinkering around with the mods. And finishing on the case is pretty good. Nice shiny polish to the side, nice little etch crown there with plenty of grip on it, and some brushing on the lugs. And in a shocking break with tradition, I'm actually going to read the instructions today. Well, I'm not really. I'm just going to show you the instructions and say that they're here if you need them to. However, I'm just going to charge on through it as if they didn't exist. So let's show a few of the different looks then. I guess this is the default one. This is the one that it came supplied as, the smooth bezel and this purlin strap. Only issue with the purlin is you can see those extra holes there where I'm going to attach the end links in due course. Next up, why don't I try the Yacht-Master style bezel with the vintage leather strap. Now that means I'm going to have to remove this smooth bezel and also add those little end links before applying the leather strap. So using one of the numerous supplied nicely branded little plastic picks, I'm apparently just supposed to slide this one in. And as you can see, that was fairly simple. It just popped straight off, and I'm guessing that this one will just pop straight on. Indeed it does. That wasn't too difficult. It is a 120 click unidirectional dive time rotating bezel. So next up, I'm going to remove the spring bars on this one and then put in those little cheeky end links. Okay, end links are in. Let's put the strap on. Done. Let's get it on wrist. And there it is. If not quite an entirely new watch, it's certainly pretty distinct from the last one. Mint Evolutive logo on the strap there. Strap quality is reasonable, if not outstanding. And that Yacht-Master style bezel certainly does give it a kind of chunky, all stainless feel there. I do like those little end links. They were certainly a welcome addition. Just makes it look more integrated, generally more cohesive overall. All right, look number 3 coming up. That really was pretty simple. Let's put it on wrist. And there we are, look number 3, and I think my favourite of the 3. I do like these tropic straps. This one is stiff as, could probably benefit from 2 minutes in a mug of boiling water, and very nice colour matched burgundy bezel on this one, and swapping them out was a doddle. Moans and niggles then. Well, the loom is fairly poor. They call it Japanese loom. They don't specify further than that, but really, it's not all that fantastic. Pretty dull and fades quite quickly, which is a shame because the rest of the dial is really nice. It's nice and crisply detailed, laser etched hands, all very nice and clean, and I do like the simple minute track around the outside. And the spring bars weren't really up to snuff and only one pair supplied. They're pretty generous with everything else. There's an extra spring clip for the bezel. There's 2 more screws in case you lose some whilst fitting those cheeky little end links. They could have done with supplying at least another couple of pairs of spring bars and upping the quality. But other than that, at $400, it's kind of like sandbox modding. There's only so much you can do, but you're not going to make an arse of it because there's only so much you can do. I can see a lot of people having a lot of fun with this watch. The head unit is nice. I guess there's a pre-modded element. You get to pick which of the 3 designs that you're into most, and then you can go crazy with all of these bezels and straps and so on. And I think it's a good looking watch as well. So if you want to get into modding but don't fancy buying all the gear, or you just want a watch that you can wear every day but change that look every day. Certainly there's more than one look for each day of the week in the kit that I was sent. Definitely check out the Kickstarter campaign for this one. So there you have it, the Mint Evolutive. An interesting concept, and I think the watch is a pretty decent one to begin with, if only they had done something about that loom. I kind of see what they're doing though, kind of sandbox modifications. You're fairly limited, you can only swap out the bezels and the straps and so on, but that in some ways is a good thing because it is just so easy to change the look of this watch. If that sounds like your cup of tea, check out their Kickstarter. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.